Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am super excited for this video because we have the new Oden's Eye collection here. They're coming out with a new Solmane Moon Wish palette, which is beautiful, and then we've also got an extension to their line. We've got 3 new blushes and 3 new highlighters, so I figured let's go ahead and do a swatch party because I love getting to show you guys all of these shadows and products just super up close, helping you decide whether this is worth spending your money on or not. So this collection is going to be launching July 2nd, which should be tomorrow if you're watching this when it's uploaded, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I do have an affiliate code with Oden's Eye. It's just AMYLOVES, and I believe that it saves you 10% off your purchase. Just wanted to let you know in case you are planning on picking anything up. Let's jump on in. So here is what the Moon Wish palette looks like up close. It is beautiful. It's got some blue, some yellow. It kind of reminds me of the Fantasy Cosmetica collection that came out not too long ago with the blue and yellow palette. Similar vibes, but this is just a little bit more extended. You've got more shades happening here. It looks very cute. And then here's what the mirror looks like. It's beautiful. So for all the face products, all of the blushes have the orange packaging. All of the highlighters have purple packaging. So starting off, we have a shade here which is called Pink Bloom. And this is a matte blush. Kind of just looks like a soft mauve neutral type shade. I thought with the name Pink Bloom it would be very pink, but I would definitely say it's more on the neutral side. So there is Pink Bloom. Just kind of sheared out a little bit. And then we've got a shade here called Solar Eclipse. This one is stunning. So we've got this beautiful shimmery orange and this beautiful shimmery pink. So, I mean, I feel like you could technically swatch them separately. Ooh, it even has like a peachiness to it. Yeah, it looks like 2 different shades, but they look so pretty. So one is just a little bit lighter, one's just a little bit deeper. But I mean, essentially, I'm sure I will end up mixing them. So I just want to show you what they look like mixed together as well. Look how gorgeous that is. Especially for like just a blush topper. And then this shade here is called Lilac Mist. And this has to be my other favorite new face product because this pink, obviously I have not used it yet, but this just looks like such a beautiful bright pink. It looks like my perfect kind of blush shade, and the imprint is beautiful. I also appreciate that even, you know, you can swatch it and use it quite a bit before you get rid of the imprint. You can appreciate it a little bit longer. So there is Lilac Mist. Okay, so now jumping into the highlighters, we've got Light Glory. You can see right in the mirror there that it has an orange base and then a very strong like yellowy green flip to it. These highlighters are beautiful, but they're not necessarily my favorite because they're very intense. So unless you want a super sparkly, shiny, colorful highlighter, you might not like these. I prefer using them more as an eyeshadow, an inner corner shade, but I think it really just depends on personal preference. They do feel very smooth, like very shifty. I'm not mad at it at all, but I typically go for more of a natural highlighter these days. So next we have the shade Star Legend. Trying to get the mirror right just perfect so you can see I've got a strong purple base and then a yellowy gold shift, which again feels so pretty, like would be the most beautiful eyeshadow. Like, look at that. Actually, you know what? I don't know. I might be able to get away with that one. That's gorgeous. Has like a pink undertone to it. Okay, maybe I'm being a hater for nothing. Maybe Star Legend could be a new favorite because that is beautiful. And then next we have the shade Moon Tears, which is such a cute name. It's got more of like a blue base and a purple shift to it. This one looks super sparkly. And this one, it feels a little bit more of like a thinner texture. The other two felt more like extremely wet and creamy to the touch. Yeah, this one is a little bit drier. Drier, more sparkly, but I mean, that is still super, super pretty. So there is all of the new face products. I almost feel like I should do a little more of this blush. I don't know if you can fully see it. I was trying to give, you know, just a realistic view of what it would look like swatched out versus like super built up. Show you a little bit more. All right, let's jump into the palette. I feel like this is such a pretty color story for Oden's Eye. Like, it's something different, and it's like, it's colorful, but it's still muted. It's definitely speaking to me right now. So the first shade that we have is this beautiful, like, looks like a kind of a pastel yellow, and it is called Star. Just looks like that. And then we've got a shade here called Moon, which feels super soft to the touch. And it kind of has a little bit of a yellow base to it, but it mostly just looks like a sparkly kind of white shimmery shade. And then we've got Crater, which I don't know if you guys can tell. Like, maybe if I move it just right, you can see there's little tiny shimmers in Crater and also in this shade Dark Matter. They both look like mattes, but they do have little sparkles. So here is Crater. It feels very soft. It's like a beautiful kind of like a baby pink mauve matte, but like I said, you got some gold sparkles going throughout it. I don't know if you'd really be able to see them on the eyes, but they are there. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna build that up just a little bit. Next, we have a really sparkly true gold shade, and this is called Meteor. Feels very metallic and just creamy to the touch. We've got Space, which just looks like a cobalt blue. Feels pretty bright. It's a matte. And then we've got Moonlight, which is a soft, shimmery blue, but it has a little bit of a periwinkle flip to it. Ooh, that's so pretty. Next we have the shade Dust, which I feel like on camera it's looking a little bit warm, but in person it's a very like muted sandy brown tone. We've got Universe, which this looks like another blue to purple shift. Definitely a little more on the purple side than Moonlight and has like a nice shine to it. We've got Dark Matter, which is a very soft purple, but again has like little tiny sparkles in it. I feel like these sparkles look more silver and these look a little bit more gold. I'm not the biggest fan of mattes that have sparkles in them, but I will say that these are definitely more on the subtle side. They're not like huge giant sparkles, so it doesn't bother me as much. Next we have Pluto, which looks like a really creamy, like just super metallic purple. It does feel a little more wet to the touch, but that is very, very pretty. And then we've got Planet, which looks like just a soft purple matte. Again, a little bit more on the muted side, like almost like a hint of a gray undertone to it, but it's definitely not gray by any means. It's just not a vibrant purple. And then we've got Mercury here, which, oh my gosh, that might end up being my favorite shade in the palette. It's like this mix of a silver and a purple, and it feels so metallic, super sparkly, like just, it feels like butter, truly like butter. Definitely some really, really pretty purple options in here. Like, look at that. That's gorgeous. Last but not least, we've got Saturn, which this does look like a little bit of a warmer matte brown. Kind of just has like a rich cocoa color to it. We've got Neptune, which is a very bright, sparkly blue. That one does feel a little bit thicker, a little bit more like crumbly to the touch. Like not flaky, but just not as smooth as some of the other shimmers I've been swatching. And then we've got Lunar Eclipse, which is a little bit of a deeper purple. So there is the entire palette swatched out. I think it looks really, really beautiful. I will say that I would recommend this mostly for the color story if you're into these colors, if you like, you know, some pops, but you want it to be a little bit more muted. I think that this is a very fun springtime-esque palette. But there are no like super special shades in here. We did have a duochrome and then like an even more subtle duochrome. We've got some really beautiful metallic shimmers, but I feel like normally in a lot of Oden's Eye palettes, you'll find at least 1 or 2 multi-chromes, and I definitely would say there's no multi-chromes happening here, so that's just something to keep in mind. But overall, I mean, I think it's beautiful. Really, really into it. So I hope that these swatches were helpful. Like I said, this is launching tomorrow, so I'll have all the details in the description box, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.